the football finals and I wanted to say good luck Bombers. Is that a permitted use? I think if you just said the word that was an advertisement as opposed to a message.
Well, right now it says it's just the identification sign shall be permitted with the main use on the lot.
What if you wanted to write God bless America on it?
I don't think we could really regulate that part anyway. I mean, we can say what the things that the sign can say, but how fast can somebody change one of them?
Well, those are points that I've had brought up to me, so I think we should address them, that's all.
Well, see, right now the only thing we permit is identification signs that have to be with the main use of the lot where the sign is located.
Yeah, and this would, I agree that with you on that, but this would be a step out of that because you could advertise a product.
They probably, let's say the gas station up there, they're going to have Coke for sale.
Right.
Well, that's something they sell there, so is that what you're objecting to?
No, not objecting to anything. I'm just saying that if you say that it has to be pertaining to what you sell on the premises, that it prevents any other message from being able.
It does. I mean, the way it's
right. So in the
right
gas
now,
station, if they had Cokes on sale, 3 for $5 or whatever, 12 packs, then you can put that up there because it's part of what they're selling
on that lot, right?
Right.
Right now, I mean, the way the current code is written, if somebody wanted to put a different message up there, we didn't deem it a public service announcement per se, then we would have grounds to have Frank go out there and say you can't do this and get that off that sign. Could even do it with a PSA announcement, but whether that's in the township's best interest, I can't say one way or another.
It will be the benefit of a public service announcement versus the potential distractions that it's causing on the. Which again is going to be an argument that arguments are making now. Does their ability to advertise override the safety aspects of signage?
Right.
So then it comes back into signs in general. So it's a.
I don't see any difference in the electronic sign as those letters that you put up. That you can change your message with the letters, the physical letters.
The little rolling signs they put out that have the.
I mean, to me, you can change that to say.
Those are even a fixed sign. If you got too much information on a fixed sign, somebody's trying to read it over a course of.
Well, I think it's smart to address electronic signs. I mean, we live in a climate where it's not really conducive to changing those letters.
That's right. It's much easier to sit inside and punch the button on the computer to tell them what to say now.
So I'm not at all opposed to those, to be very honest with you. And then as far as the timing goes, I did have some people say that they'd like to see us make that it be like 30 seconds to a minute for intervals, and not as short as 8 seconds.
Right.
And
the 8 seconds came from an Ohio State study that we did, and they noted in that particular study that there was not a lot of guidance anywhere in the country for anything other than National Highway Transportation law for signs along a freeway. And they felt that if it was done for 8 seconds on a freeway where you're moving much faster speeds typically, then it would be okay even on a smaller highways with lower speed limits and more limited sight lines than you typically have on a freeway system.
Well, I guess if you just want to look at an extreme, is if you had 10 businesses all in a row, like on Washington Street here, and every one of them had a sign and they all changed every 8 seconds, it definitely wouldn't be.
It wouldn't be the most productive drive at that point.
I'd rather see us go with 30 or 60 seconds or something like that. I think that was a valid point that people brought up.
Yeah, that was some of the information that I was looking at. When you've got, let's say, a duration of 8 seconds, so it's already, you get there, it's already gone 3, and it's getting ready to change over, so now people are continuing to watch beyond that time frame to and see what the next
Well,
message
and the thing that we really were trying to just avoid was the flashing letters and the live graphics.
Yeah.
They're really the distracting things that are up there. So, changing to a higher time value is, it's a number change on the amendment, so it's not really that big of an issue.
We tried to figure something that we could stand behind it too, and that was hard to find.
Yeah.
And that's why we went with the state figure also.
Right.
At least we had that information. Or to find 30 seconds or 15 seconds. We thought the same thing,
right.
20 seconds or whatever, but we couldn't find anything. And we're always questioned, where do you
get your numbers?
Where do you get your numbers?
Right.
So that's really the one reason why we chose that.
Yeah, those would be the 2 points that people have commented to me about, and I don't think either one of them is earth-shaking either way. But
that may be something you just do some additional research from. There seemed to be, when I was looking, there seems to be a lot of research done in Sweden, in Norway.
Sweden and Norway, huh?
Yeah, they had they allowed it, I think, in 2007 or 2009, and then they did some additional studies, and then they ended up banishing it in the whole country.
Really?
Yeah. So I was just doing some cursory review of things today. So
probably distracted the dogs pulling sleds.
Yeah.
So.
And one of the things we're trying to do too is trying to be a little proactive on our amendments, what we choose to do and what has been brought up to us. So that doesn't have to go to the Board of Appeals. At least we have some guidelines. If they want something different, then they can go to the Board of Appeals. At least we give the Board of Appeals some guidelines, and that's what we're supposed to be all about.
We're supposed to do the job, right?
Instead of them writing all of the regulations.
All the regulations before we get a chance to look at it.
Okay. There's a couple of things, like I said, that we started researching, and I got some information here, so I think we'll continue to look at it a little bit longer. Any questions from the audience? Just one question, John?
No, those are the 2 points that I was asked to bring up. So.
All right, and like I said, I only have Mr. Kavanaugh had some issues today, so I really don't want to do anything.
No, but I think we could easily. When do you guys meet again? Or
we're supposed to meet tomorrow. We're going to meet the 24th.
Okay,
right.
So that give you guys a chance to just rehash it and maybe put some verbiage in, so we could just do it. Approve it as amended, type of thing. So I'm going to make a motion that we continue the hearing and do it. You want to do it 2 meetings then, or?
Like July 21st?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we'll motion to continue the meeting until July 21st at 7:15.
That'd be fine, I think.
Okay, I'll second that.
John?
Yes.
Yes.
If you guys want to put that verbiage in then, and it's just pretty simple. As long as your board all concur with that,
And that is as far as the seconds?
I think the number of the increments, if we extended it there to 30 or 60.
My only concern with that is that with the Ohio State University study, if somebody else finds that and uses that as their reference, saying why they want it for a shorter period. If we use an international standard, I don't know if that takes precedence over an Ohio State standard.
Plus, we have to look at. Right now, it's an Ohio State standard,
right?
But it's not codified. It's just a recommendation.
Right. And that's for billboards.
So if it went to court, it could be considered persuasive, but it wouldn't be prevailing law. So that might be something to research. Is there other research that was done, like I said, statewide or adjacent states, that may give a little more flexibility to the time frame.
Right. At the time we did this original research, there was not a great deal out there that didn't pertain just to freeways. It's been a couple months since then, so there may be some new information. Yeah,
there may be some. Even like I said, I'm looking at some of the information here, and I'll give you a copy of this from Nancy. This goes back like 2007, 2009, some of these studies. And It's going back 5 years, so I'm sure there's been a lot more signs put up since then.
I think we want to make a distinction between a billboard and an informational sign.
Right.
These are informational signs.
And you want us to critique the use. I mean, that is.
Well, I just think that I don't think it should be a gray area for the zoning guy. That it'd be if it's. I think all you need to do is say advertisements, and that takes care of that whole thing. If you just put that word in there, to me, that would then an advertisement has to be that. But you could put a, hey, good luck, Fred. You could end it. Why would we want to create a situation that would put the zoning inspector in a, not precarious, but why would you want to create that situation?
Right, a headache situation.
Right.
Try to tighten it up so you don't.
But I remember back in '95 when Kenston went to the state football. I mean, there were signs all over the place that people had rented and put up.
But you're not opposed to that going on, electronic sign?
No. I personally, I think why not? I mean,
Yeah, right. I mean, with our climate,
it's crazy.
It's just current technology that you can change via computer and stuff.
And actually, it could be a way to inform the public if you had to.
I've seen a lot more riffraff with removable letters than electronic signs.
Well,
especially if they're ground level.
But I think you will see more and more. There's more than one or two of these in the area. There's a lot.
Oh, there's a dozen of them up the road here.
It's going to start at the corners that are up at the freeway. We're just trying to be a little proactive.
Yeah, definitely.
So basically, too, you're saying like that sign, and you want us to, so that they can't say, hey, stop at Walmart for their sale or something, some other business.
Right, exactly. You want everything that's on the sign to be relative to the business that's on that parcel.
Advertisements need to be.
Yes.
Right, any advertisement must be related to that business.
To the business, right.
There. Right.
Yeah. Otherwise, it becomes a billboard.
Okay.
Agreed.
But if it says "Good luck, bombers," that's just an informational thing, and that would be at the owner's discretion. Or "Good luck, John," whatever. Yeah.
Right into the regular meeting. And I recognize that young man. I'm having him introduce himself.
I'm Thomas Rastetter, and I'm here for my citizenship in the community merit badge for Boy Scouts.
Hey, you want to lead us in another pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
See, now you'll be in the minutes, so they know you're actually here. Okay.
Remember the old days when those guys would bring in cookies?
Yeah.
Nice chocolate.
Buy us over here something. Kids, no respect. Okay. We've got the minutes of the regular meeting from June 2nd.
I haven't had any changes myself.
No.
I'll make a motion here.
Okay, I'll second.
Yes.
Yes.
Tom, before you leave, I want to make sure I get this out.
Okay.
We have a bid opening at 7:45. So,
We get a bid for that.
huh?
Just one.
If we got one, we got a bid opening. We'll wait till 7:45.
Okay.
Just 10 minutes. Okay. Jim Sicaro from retirement. He's a guest. don't see Jim here. Jim. Okay, we will table Jim in case Jim does show up. Okay, scheduled reports. Chief Phillips.
The other thing I have to bring up is, of course, the July picnic, the parade. Starts at the Meadows, line-up's at 11, parade starts at 12. We look forward to having a good time.
Okay, and it ends up at the fire department?
That's correct. Parking over at Old Auburn School.
Okay. All right. Mr. Eberly?
A couple things. We're working on doing a lot of little ditching projects, where people have called in little, hour, 2-hour projects and things like that. So I think we've knocked off 16 of them so far. And we're working on that. We're doing patching on Bartholomew and Thorpe. Getting ready, starting to get, actually Thorpe, going ready for the chip seal. So we've been kind of busy. We're going to be doing ditching on Stafford. We got about a 2-week window we got for that coming up here in July. So been pretty busy. Everything's running pretty good. I did have a thing for, we're kind of, I hate to bring that subject up, but salt. We, just to remind everybody, we use some of the, it sounds kind of convoluted, but in 2013 we used 2013 salt allotment, which is not what we've been doing in the past. We've always used the year before. So we still have about, I think around 700 tons available on the 13 allotment.
We always buy that.
Yeah, well, normally we would buy 1,600. We don't have 1,600 available because we already used up about 700.
Is there any additional we could buy under contract? There's some flexibility in the contract.
Yeah, that's using the maximum. Don't forget the contract is last year's contract. We're talking about not next year. So what we were kind of kicking around doing was take the balance of this year's contract. And we can that'll pretty much fill the dome without stacking it. And to stack it, we take the cruise air into the building and, make a ramp and go up and stack it to the ceiling. What we might do, what we were thinking, and of course then that entails a big maintenance procedure on the commutator of the cruise air because we get all the salt. So we were thinking we might just go in and take the 700 or so tons, whatever we can get, that'll fill the floor.
As high as we can, big bird.
Then we'll use a little bit. Because we're going to be buying into the 14 contract anyway. And then we hope that we don't have, I just can't imagine, but if I knew, I wouldn't be sitting here. We don't get as many. I have to put down the salt we did last year. And the other thing would allow us to do is when we do the 14, we could maybe up our budget per tons. Because you do get the up or down. So I don't know what you think about that.
We have to look at it. It's like, with our company, we have some years up, some years down, and we just arbitrarily picked a 3-year average.
Yeah. Our 3-year average is 1795.
How many last year?
The last year, that's not the last year. The average year, if you go from all the years that we've been keeping the records, it's like, that's it. Some years we had as low as, I think, 1,400, 1,300. And the way we were buying the salt was we were always had that cushion of almost, and we had it last year when we really needed it. We were never without salt. We had salt all the time. People were all going, we don't have salt. We always have tons of salt. because we were buying off. We had the ability to buy off of 2 years of the contract at any given moment.
Well, we're still, I mean, not in that bad shape. We're still starting out with 800, 700 tons
Oh yeah,
previous year, so
yeah.
we don't want that to cascade on us to where we start going into negative things.
No. So I think that's my recommendation that we do that. Load up the bin. We do it like the second week of August, July rather.
Yeah.
And then we'll go maybe after we have a couple snows. We'll put some more back in the bin.
Makes sense.
So I'm going to make a motion to purchase out the balance that's around 700 tons. He's going to get as much as he can.
Yeah, I'll second that.
John? Yes.
Yes.
We do have this bid opening then for the section over there up on the Shannon, which we're continuing to work on that project up there, but just to keep you up to date, we have invested a lot of money in this company over the last 4 years. So it's not that it's not warranted, because there was a whole lot of years where there was really no money invested up there. But I think the residents up there are actually happy. We actually got a couple of calls when they saw we had marked off some panels on Shannon. But we still have next year another project as well. And then we should pretty much bring that to a close. You have an estimate in there from Todd's Land for, he's a gentleman that he has a paving machine, asphalt paving machine. We utilized it last year. He comes with all the equipment, 2 men, and we were asked him to come up and give us an estimate of the time he thought it would take to put some asphalt over there at Adam Hall. And then the other project that we asked him to do, he come in and do some patching on asphalt, so we could lay a long ribbon to be smooth, which would be top coat. And so, it's a pretty economical way to do it. It looked like we were going to have to put about 150 tons down of asphalt.
Do we have a cost on equipment rental?
Yeah, his cost was around $1,500.
And we just supply the
material, and we haul it, and then he obviously they apply it. It worked out very successfully on Whisperwood last year. Actually, you had it last week. Nancy did that. Maybe she did it this one. I got more folders. I don't know, do you have any thoughts on doing that? It'd be a way to get a little more asphalt down.
Oh, we've got to get the asphalt up there. It's a good, probably the most economical way to do it.
Since he gets, I was thinking, if we just did a budget, Mike, so that we could have an idea, not to exceed or something like that for him.
Yeah.
Because I think he's...
How much are we talking about a ton for that? It's 150 ton?
Yeah, we're going to 40. But that would be already we've already got that bid. That was on the bid for the asphalt.
Okay,
So we'd be looking at, the cost of time. It's man, it's equipment and everything.
Yeah,
Put
but
like 1 to 1.5 days. Like I was thinking if we made $2,500
that's fine.
as a budget.
Yeah, that should be adequate.
It's his bid was more like 1,500 or so. But
Just in case we have to run over it. So. If we're just going to do a motion on budgetary for 25.
Yeah, if that would work for you, Fred, if we could just do a budgetary thing, because it's hard to tell exactly.
It's roughly 1,500, so it's 25. Motion for 2,500.
2,500.
Yeah.
For that.
Is that for
Adam Hall project?
Adam Hall and ASCOT?
No, ASCOT would be separate.
How much time you figure on ASCOT?
We still have, I think, another area opened up. So
Should we hold off on that?
I think we need to hold off and see. We did, since the last meeting, I think we did 3 more full depth repairs in there. And Rick told me that at the end of last week, another area opened up that he wants to dig out. Now, the good news is the patches that have all been put in, they're holding very well. They're holding very well. So, the real proof of the pudding is going to go through a winter and see if this whole concept works. If you notice, that's kind of what they're doing in some spots on the freeway here. They're just we can be building a new road on the road that was there where it was really bad and making that same kind of a thing. And so, we'll get the engineers down here to evaluate it in the spring. But
my father-in-law did mention to me that if you guys listened to him about those overloaded trucks, he wouldn't be redoing the freeway. I just want to let you know that.
I mentioned that to him. But that's out of our bailiwick. And of course, we're starting the vacation schedule in the road department here, so we're down a man all the time. I'm going to just do a little update on where we are at the park. We've been mowing every week since May. That grass is really coming in well. They're going to come in and do some core samples of the roots, but they really are pleased with what's happening. It's really looking good up there. Bill Timmons did do it the L-shape, plowed it and double bid it for us. It's relatively smooth. And so it looks like we can do a little bit of movement of just a small amount of dirt with a grader. And so we've I met Bob Ford up there, who's the baseball coach, and he said, hey, locate a home plate for us. And they did. And so there's really, it's a tremendous area. He goes, this would be fine, make it tomorrow. If you don't want to hit this one little low spot, but we'll run the grader over there as long as we're there. So then we're looking at maybe 2 weeks of rock hounding. You're adding about 4 acres of grass to this, even though it doesn't seem like you're only going out 150 feet both ways, but you're adding almost 4 acres of grass. So we missed the planting season, obviously, for the springtime here, but we're shooting for a fall planting. So we're thinking if Mike could get some time after we get the roads ditched and whatnot, we'll go up there in 2 or 3 days with the grader. And then we're probably looking at, maybe a week with the rock hound up there. And that's going to be, may take 2 weeks because of rain or stuff like that. And then look to try to get it planted for fall.
Good.
And so the other thing would be is not plant, obviously, the infield of the baseball field. And so we're getting some pricing together to put, that's a special mix of sand and clay and whatever that you get. And so we'll do that. And now we do have, of course, all the backstop and enough, I believe there's enough fence to do the side fences even, to delineate 20 or 30 feet, whatever you do off the baseline, that delineates the players would be behind that or something. Right. And so Bob was saying, if we could set those poles, then we can call Simpson and ask him that,
just stretch the fence
on there and get the backstop put up. So that's sort of where we are with that.
Good. All right.
Well, I think with that we could probably open up that bid.
Okay. Yep.
Are we going to do a motion for the 2,500 or?
Oh yeah, did we do it?
Yeah, we had a motion in a second, so we just have to vote.
John?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Is it me? My turn?
My turn. Well, let's do the bid opening.
Okay, you want to do the bid opening?
Yeah. You getting a letter opening for Christmas?
I'm bringing my knife next. One and only bid that I have here is from Phil Miller Construction Incorporated out of Millfield. Area 1, we've got a quote of $4,950. That's $4,950. Area 2, Shadowwood Circle, we have a quote of $9,875.
Good number.
Okay.
Then do we send
We'll
these?
go over the whole thing, but that's in our,
Okay, good.
He's done work for us before too.
Okay, so please send that up to. Do you guys just go?
No,
over that?
that's just Gregor.
That's just maintenance.
Right. Just I'll get
You
him.
want to keep that then, or?
No, give it to Nancy and Emmerich and I'll go over it.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right, Fred. Now you're on.
Got some reports in front of you. We have a payment report of warrants 1729 through 1756 in the total amount of $107,957.56. Those warrants are before you for approval. You have a fund status report in front of you, revenue status report, and appropriation status report, all as of today. I did highlight a couple things on the appropriation status report, just as a heads up that we'll need to make some supplemental allocations to some of these funds. They're just undershot a little bit on our original allocation, so we'll have to beef some of those up a little bit. We have,
Do you want to do that tonight, or do you have a...
not tonight, I'm not, but we are just getting down to where it's going to have to be done soon.
Okay.
And we've got plenty outside of appropriation budget to do those allocations. Speaking of budgets, our 2015 budget is due on July 15, and so this week I'm going to be circulating a draft of the budget, and then next week we'll get that advertised for a public hearing, and we'll have to have our hearing on the 7th, the next meeting. And then once that's approved, then we'll get it down to the county and should be in good shape. I don't see, we'll have to discuss a little bit more, and I'll talk to Emmerich and the chief, but I don't really see anything coming up that's going to deviate too much from this year's budget at this point. Other than we've got the truck, but I think we've already budgeted for that.
One goes off and one comes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we should be okay. And that is all I have.
Okay, Brett, thank you. Okay. And once again, we got the, they already took care of that. That was all the new business. We have the Auburn Baingridge 4th of July fireworks, which will be, the fireworks themselves will be Auburn and Bainbridge at the high school. Festivities will be from 6 to 9 p.m. Fireworks will be a little after 9 p.m. at dusk. Right there, there'll be food carts there. There's going to be a band. As we get more information available about where the parking is going to be, we relocated. It's going to be using all generators. They were originally talking about using some of the school electricity, but then they're too close to the building, and putting a band in that big thing is like an echo chamber. So they'll be moving everything out and then using the generators on those. Seen everything going. We're meeting tomorrow, John?
Yes.
Okay. Because they had a meeting at 7 o'clock also, but I told them to be with you guys. They're just going to, do the final layout of where they're going to be putting the different tents and the...
I don't think we have any big items on the agenda, so if you want to go to that means pretty important. So.
All right, yeah. Let me know tomorrow for sure. If there's...
I talked to Dan, and I don't think there's going to be anything big on the agenda. So.
Okay.
If you want
all
to
right,
do
then I'll meet with Public Bainbridge, know that I can meet them there. Okay, good. Thanks, Chief. Okay. Public comments?
We're going to do the road levy.
Are we going to do that today or wait?
Well, I just think we need to
Well, if you want to talk about it
do
a little
some
bit, sure.
discussion of it. I mean, is there any...
Well, you can discuss if you'd like. Like I said, I think we pretty much got out of the last one. This has got to be done. And so, whenever... obviously, like to wait till PJ's here
Oh, absolutely. But
to
I
do
just
that.
don't know
But
we
if you want to go over it a little bit, that's...
Well,
it's just... It's got to be done. It's just... There's no question.
I think we'd be derelict of our duties.
Right. We just have to put the information out and let the people decide.
I guess, I think we need to make it a 1 mil levy is not going to even come close to solving this problem. So I know there was, kind of maybe some discussion back several months ago. Why is it 2 mils? Well, that's how much it takes to solve this problem, and it doesn't really solve it. It gets us out of the woods, so to speak, where we hope then that we're going to realize some savings from these roads that we've upgraded from chip seal to asphalt. But, we're just trying to, our recommendation is the least amount that we think we can get by with.
Right.
And then the other issue is that, we still have the 1 mil levies that people have an opportunity to voice their approval or disapproval of. And I think that's a much better situation. It's harder for the road department planning, but if I'm a citizen, I think it's a much better deal where you have accountability up for each of the Mountville levies. As opposed to Troy has a 5 mil levy.
Just a 5.
And we're down on the low end of everybody. If you look at the amount of monies that we're doing this on. But
for anybody who wasn't here for the previous meetings, we have 3 1 mil levies, which generate about $750,000 for road repair.
Total or each?
no,
Total. Be $250,000. So that generates enough funds to do about 2 miles of road a year. And where we're at right now is that we've got, my neighbors know when we moved in and all the other developments started up, we're getting to the point now where all those roads are starting to need to be redone. So really, we have to up the ante within the next 2 years to start doing 4 miles of road a year to start keeping all the developments and everything, keep everything on par. And the only way to do that is to, I said, John's budgeted and crunch the figures, be looking at an additional 2 mil levy. And I'd generate about $1.3 million then for road, and that money's just for road projects, just for paving.
we're still going to augment the road department out of the general fund.
Right, we've always done that. But general fund's only so big. So what we're doing is looking at is, probably, hopefully, first meeting in July, motion to get the 2 mil levy onto the November ballot. So if there's any questions or comments on that. Anything else, Mr. Everly?
You got, let's see, on the new business here, you guys were looking to update the land use plan.
When would that updated last?
The last date of anything on this is April of 2007. That was the map, like 7 years ago. The last time the actual planning commission had this, if I'm reading this correctly, was 12 years ago in 92.
And then the 2010 census has come out. We're still using our 2010 census. Our book is 2000. Usually about every 10 years we try to.
Yeah, the last update was done by the planning commission. And this is a fairly large project. We actually had some estimates up in the $70,000 range. From parties. The planning commission did that for us at no charge. Whether or not, they're not mandated to do that. So
I have noticed that they've been doing other townships.
My question was, is you guys had any conversations with them about that?
I have not, because it needs to come from me.
Yeah.
Okay, I have talked to, I should say I have asked David. He says it needs to come from the trustees. And that was probably a year or so ago. And looking through the land use plan and for the useful information, it really does need to be updated. We don't have our survey in there, our current survey in there, and so forth, which would give us some different tools to work for through zoning.
Well, even on the agenda, we can send a letter today, chat with you about it, see what their timing is and everything. My personal opinion is they did an excellent job for us. And actually they did a much better job than the commercial ones that people do.
And they know us.
So if we can work with them in any way, shape, I think we should do that.
Well, I think it would be a helpful tool for the zoning commission. that done?
That's
Personally,
more
I
of
would
a,
say no.
yeah, that was more of a wish list type thing and for them to.
I really think the results of the Kent State study fell outside of the bounds of our floor. And so I don't see...
Key factor.
Yeah.
Anything else, Mr. Evans?
I think that's all I have.
You can say whatever you would like to say. You can say three things if you'd like.
This is off the wall, but it's about butterflies, our monarch butterflies, and their only food source is milkweed. And when we trim our roads, which I know we have to mow, for intersections and stuff, do we as a township go up and get the entire part of the ditch with the mower?
Every fourth or fifth time.
The job of parks, and it's in the state of Ohio, there's a big thing about saving the monarchs and asking everybody to plant the milkweed with our farms and people with chemicals. And I know even on our farm, just our pastures used to have so much milkweed, and with the horses and so forth, we have you can go before to see butterflies all the time. And it's getting to be a very scary thing. The monarchs flying back to Mexico are way down in numbers. And it's a food source going all the way across the country. And Ohio's doing a big thing with their park systems and getting people aware of it. They're asking all gardeners to plant it. I've ordered 3 flats of it to give to Auburn Garden Club people to plant in their yards because that's the only food source when those butterflies are born that they can eat to exist. And then they can go off and do other things.
What kind of soil does it need?
Obviously nothing if it grows in ditches.
Well, they're usually flat.
No, not really. If you look in, I walk down Stafford and Messenger, and I'm thinking, they haven't moved it, and I can't think of what I'm going to ask.
Why do we do that? Not because we don't like butterflies, but if you don't mow that, you'll end up with vegetation that little 1-inch trees that end up in 5 years being landmarks and family heirlooms.
Could it be mowed in the fall, or just after the butterflies have done their thing? Every 4 or 5 mowings we do that. So that actually is every couple of years. We do back slopes. We have to do those back slopes, and you have to keep that ditch area free. That's paramount importance to keep it closed. I see the ditches, those are, when they do right by the ditch, it's great. It's usually on the other side of it.
Yeah, well, we call that the back slope. Okay. And if you start to end up with trees in there, then the roots go down. And,
you can't do that in the fall instead, like once a year?
Well, we don't do it every year,
okay.
The back slopes. But we have to mow those. We don't mow. Just like we're mandated to do 1 pass twice a year. But, as more and more people, they take care of the front of the yards, there's actually a little bit less and less of that mowing that we have to do every year.
And that's why it's so nice to walk down Stafford and see the nice weeds, the helpful things. And the parks are going to be asking.
Yeah, I was thinking we only have like 37 acres up there. Maybe there's some, because there's a lot of not used areas, but actual percentage of that ground that we'll actually be using is very small.
You won't be cutting it?
No. And, there's a whole area there as you go on the north side of the driveway when you come in that would be a place that, things could be, something like that in my mind would be a great place. Well, I guess that, it's sort of like bees, they find it.
I'm sure Purina will come out with butterfly chow and be selling that.
It's a sad thing. just like the youth, it's getting very sad, and it's just another thing, and all it is just enrolling them. That prevents them from having their food.
Yeah, it's like if you're looking, I'm trying to figure how much lawn or area you're doing, just the edges of the roads, in the overall scheme of all of Auburn Township. Is there like some concentration in the ditches or something of the milkweed that because of the...
You can really see, like on Stafford, both on the north side and the south side, you can go and you can count tons of milkweed. And I know it's going to be mowed, it's because we do that. When that's gone, it's gone. I mean, hopefully there's enough seed and milkweed pods there by the time you mow that, maybe they can replenish again the year.
Why is milkweed growing there?
That's just where it grows. I mean, that's because it's been untouched and the seeds will grow each year. But if we cut it before the butterflies come, that's the whole thing. But it's not any use to that. No, it isn't. And I just thought we would start something in Geauga County that Auburn's going to save the monarch butterflies. And maybe some of the other townships will follow. The park is, if you look at Ohio State, the Department of Ohio State Parks, and even Westwoods, they were giving away milkweed pots for people to plants. And some of the nursery growers are now growing it for people to plant so that we can get it, because it's just becoming where it's not. So we're asking everybody to try to take an extra step just for the butterfly.
Get some calls and see if anybody's doing, what they're doing. Anything that's reasonable that we could...
I don't think we'll see any other townships doing it.
I'm talking about countywide or the park system.
All the parks.
Yeah, I don't know where we got 67 acres.
Yeah, we got whatever.
That certainly could run up with more. We'll put something up.
Joan, take care of that for us, will you?
Friends is fun.
I used to have tons of them in my garden. I don't anymore.
So you can...
Oh, no, I'm planting them.
Okay.
And my father did.
Any public comment? Additional public comment? Everyone's still in place? Okay, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
John? Yes.
Yes.